Okay, test one. The graph illustrates the quantities of goods transported in the UK from 1074 to 2002 using four different transport modes: road, water, rail, and pipeline. Throughout the period, road transport consistently carried the largest volume of goods, starting at around 70 million tons in 1074, experienced a slight dip in the early 1080, but then showed a steady upward trend, reaching nearly 100 million tons by 2002. This indicates a strong and growing reliance on the road transport for moving goods over the years. Water transport saw moderate growth. It began at about 40 million tons in 1074, increased gradually and after a period of stability in the 1080 and 1090 rose sharply after 1098, ending at over 60 million tons in 2002. This suggests that water transport became increasingly important, especially in the latter years of the period. Rail transport, in contrast, showed a decline from 40 million tons in 1074 at around 30 million tons in the mid 2018. After fluctuating for several years, it recovered somewhat in the later 2019 and early 2000, finishing just about 40 million tons by 2002. This indicates that while rail transport was growing initially, it managed to regain its earlier level by the end of the period. Pipeline transport started at a very low level, about 5 million tons in 1074, but saw a rapid increase to over uh, 20 million tons by the early 2018. After this initial charge, the quantity remained stable with a slight decline after 2019, ending at just under 20 million tons in 2002. In summary, road transport dominated throughout the period, while water and rail showed significant increases by 2002. Pipeline transport, after early growing, remained stable. The overall trend demonstrates a growing volume of goods transported in the UK, with road and water modes becoming increasingly prominent. Okay, test two. In recent years, several countries have enacted laws to restrict the number of hours employees can work each week. These regulations have sparked considerable debate regarding their necessity and impact. This essay will explore the reason behind the introduction of such laws and argue that overall they represent a positive development for both individual and society. The reason for introducing working hour limits, the primary motivation for limiting working hours is to protect employees from exploitation and safeguard their health and well-being. Historically, before such legislation excited workers, especially during the Industrial Revolution, often endured excessively long hours in harsh conditions, sometimes up to 18 hours a day, with a little recourse if they protest. This law aims to prevent employees from imposing inhuman demands, ensuring that employees are not overworked and have adequate time for rest and personal life. Additionally, limiting hours help address issues such as burnout, chronic stress, and related health problems. Research consistently show that excessive work hours are linked to highest rates of physical and mental health issues, including cardiovascular disease and depression. By capping the work week, governments seek to promote a healthier workforce and reduce the social and economic costs associated with overwork. A positive impact of limiting working hours is introducing laws to limit working hours is largely beneficial. First, it's improve employees' work-life balance, giving them more time to spend with family, pursue hobby, and recharge, which lead to greater overall well-being and job satisfaction. This in turn can enhance employee retention and morale, as workers feel more value and less likely to experience burnout. Moreover, evidence suggests that reducing working hours does not necessarily harm productivity. In fact, shorter workers can lead to higher efficiency and creativity, as employees are more focused and motivated during their work hours. For example, the shift to an 8 hours workday during the industrial era was initially met with resistance, but ultimately resulted in improved productivity and more sustainable workforce. However, it is important to acknowledge potential drawbacks. Some firms, particularly in sections requiring continuous production, may face challenges in maintaining output and profitability when working hours are reduced. There is also a risk increase labor costs if hourly wages rise while total output falls. Nonetheless, their challenge can be often mitigated through better management practice and technological innovation. In the conclusion, in summary, laws limiting working hours are introduced primarily to protect workers from exploitation and to promote their health and well-being. While there are some challenges for certain industry, the overall impacts of such legislation is positive. It fosters a healthier, more satisfied workforce and can even enhance productivity, making it a progressive step for modern societies.